And always happy to be in a meeting with Deneen. It's always super fun. So I'm going to say peanut butter balls, Deneen.
Oh, one of my favorites too. And I just realized that I forgot to press record. So I now am recording. Hopefully everybody's okay with that. For people that are listening that are recording, we're asking people to tell us a little bit about who they are, what they do, how they're affiliated with the Center of Excellence for Health, and their favorite Christmas cookie. So I am going to hand it over to Emma.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emma Bradford, and I'm the Recruitment and Retention Coordinator for the New Brunswick Association of Nursing Homes. I handle and help out with the partnership with the Center of Excellence for Health to create opportunities for students in the nursing homes. So be it co-ops or school visits, it's pretty fun to have this partnership over here. And my favorite Christmas cookie is probably a snickerdoodle.
Ooh, lovely. Nice. We're all going to want cookies after this. Perfect. Thank you, Emma. I'll hand it over. And I'm not going in any particular order except for who's on my screen. Brendan, let's talk to you.
Well, good morning. Bonjour, Gouet. So I'm Brendan McGuire. I'm the Guest Experience Coordinator and Outdoor Education Director for Parks New Brunswick. I'm involved with EECD, or with Deneen and the Center of Excellence for Health, because Deneen told me I had to be. So that's the short of it. But we provide school trips for kids kindergarten through grade 12, even now university as well, in terms of climate change education. And then we also take on co-op students, as well as hire as many students as we possibly can to fill the many roles within our parks. As for my favorite cookie, Christmas cookie, used to be my mother's, but I found a spot in Ottawa that had some amazing gingerbreads. So I'm going with some gingerbreads from a little ways away, which hopefully my cousin is bringing me next week. So yeah,
love it.
So thank you all. Merci.
You got to put your order in. I agree. Absolutely. Thank you, Brendan. I'm going to hand it over to Rob.
Good morning, everyone. Rob Parker with the Department of Health. I'm the International Recruitment Specialist. I work under the International Recruitment Supports Program branch with Jake Arbuckle, and been involved with Deneen and the Center of Excellence, I think, since the beginning. And Deneen knows me well enough to know that I'm a bit of a sweetaholic. So when you said cookie, I was like a squirrel. I was, where?
Your favorite?
Oh, come on. They're all so good.
I know. You must have a favorite.
Shortbread for short, but.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Rob. I'll hand it over to Paula.
My name is Paula Toolman. I'm the Education Placement Specialist for Horizon Health Network. Our mandate is to engage students for career exploration, and we have a program that we've developed called Promote 150. In working with the Center of Excellence for Health, we're looking at how we can partner with the as many people as possible to work with and support the teachers to get students in to learn about healthcare.
Awesome. Thanks, Paula.
And I love shortbread, but I kind of like the ones that got nuts, like sometimes pecan or almond.
Oh, yeah. The added touch. Like it. Like it. Awesome. Thank you. I'll hand it over to Rachel.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel Bernard, and I am the Nursing Recruitment Consultant with the Department of Health. So I'm new to my role, so I'm just glad to be here and be able to get to know what everybody's role is, so that I know who I'll be working with in the future. And my favorite cookie, which is a cookie I make, and it's a recipe from my mother, you guys call it like a butter cookie, or what did you call it?
Shortbread?
Shortbread. I call it a Scotch cookie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but instead of making it like a regular Scotch cookie, I make it in a snowman shape.
Oh.
And I dye the dough, so it has the red and the green on it. So.
Oh my! So you are a real baker. That's a lot of time.
Well, no, that's the only thing I do. But yeah, they're my favorite.
Love it. Awesome. Kashim.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kasim, and I'm the Allied Health Recruitment Consultant with the Department of Health. I've been fortunate to meet Deneen last week, I think, and I was able to follow as well the Allied Health month that they hosted, and I wanted to know a bit more with the and how to collaborate and synergize with the center. So my favorite cookies is peanut butter cookies. So yeah.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you. Jennifer. Jennifer, I think you're here. Oh. You may be having difficulties. I'm going to move on to Michelle.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle. I'm a registered dietitian and I work with the Teach Nutrition team here in the Maritimes. And we're newly official partners with Center of Excellence. So we're really excited about that. And basically, one of our biggest roles is that we just provide food and nutrition education to help teachers talk about that topic with kids and just spark an interest for kids to get back in the kitchen and make cookies, maybe. And my favorite cookie is Rachel. I'm so happy you said that. It is shortbread, but my mom did call them and Granny as Scotch cookies. And if you grew up in the 80s, it's the Scotch cookie. They're tiny with green icing with a tiny cherry just on top.
That's right. Oh, grew up in the 80s. You guys are making me feel old.
Oh,
Okay. So I'll ask Jennifer again if you're able to come on. I feel like she's popping in and out, so it must be her Teams. And then I am going to hand it over to Sarah to introduce their team. I know that in the invitation, I put their names there because sometimes there's so many things going on in meetings that we don't get everyone's name. So make sure that you are aware of kind of who they are and what district they're in while they're speaking. And then we'll get going right away. So Sarah, do you want to introduce your team?
Sure. Can everyone hear me okay? I had some headphone issues. Okay. I'm Sarah McClellan. I am the transition coach for ASD West, and I'll let my colleagues, of course, introduce themselves. But just to give you a little brief overview of what we're doing, we are in a pilot project called Hopeful Transitions, and our role is to support students, but mostly we're supporting schools and educators with embedding career-connected curriculum for students to be better prepared for life after high school. So when they're in high school and they're taking their classes, they're connecting it to real-life things and thinking about their futures. So we're really trying to bring in more guest speakers, more experiential learning, help with co-op placements, just all of the planning that happens for life after high school that some students may have support with, but some may not. So we're really trying to level the playing field. We're universally designed, so we're helping students with exceptionalities and everyone across the board. So we're just doing, we're in a pilot, so that's always a little bit of a bumpy road as we figure out what works and what doesn't, but partners are definitely key to our success. So we're so glad that Deneen invited us to this meeting, but I will hand it over to Anna and then maybe Leah and Miriam, and they can do their introductions and share a little bit about themselves.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. So my name is Anna Parody. I'm the transition coach for the Anglophone East School District. I was previously in the role of experiential learning coordinator in the East, so I had the pleasure of working closely with the Centers of Excellence. So I'm really looking forward to that continued collaboration in this role as well. And my favorite Christmas cookie, I'm also a bit of a sweetaholic, so it's very hard to narrow it down, but I would say like a classic sugar cookie with like colored icing, like red and green icing on top with sprinkles. Like I want to eat it as if I'm a 2-year-old and just like layer it with icing, all the sprinkles, all the things. So yeah.
I love it.
Hi, everybody. My name is Leah Mullen. I am the district transition coach for Anglophone North. I grew up in Miramichi, so this is a really great full circle experience for me. My brother and I actually just yesterday had a really great conversation. He just passed his licensing exam for medical school. So we're really excited about that, but we had a really great conversation about how there are so many people who would be great in the healthcare field, but it can be very cutthroat and it can be very competitive. And we were kind of talking about, making some of those programs more accessible. And I think that experiential learning and job placements are a really great firsthand experience for students to be able to see themselves in the role. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what we can do together. Thank you. Oh, my favorite Christmas cookie. I think I would have to say the Pillsbury ones that you just slice. They have like the little trees on them and stuff. Yeah, keep it simple, quick. As quickly as it's being consumed, the better. So that's the criteria.
That's awesome. I love it. Excellent. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Miriam Parag. I'm the Anglophone South District transition coach, and a little background about myself. I'm a former teacher, and I just 2 years ago, or 3 years ago almost now, I moved to St. John. I do apologize. My Teams has been just really, really funky this morning. It's the new Teams download. I don't know what's going on, so that's why my video is off. And I guess my favorite Christmas cookie would be I think it's Walker's, like shortbread cookie that you could get. Like, you can get them at Costco and stuff. So I really enjoyed them. And it's also a tie between now the triple chocolate cookie that you can get at Tim Hortons, which I found out is only a Christmas exclusive. So I guess that would also be considered a Christmas cookie. But I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you and working and collaborating with you all.
Awesome. Thank you. And I did see that Janella was on here. I believe she has left the meeting because she's very busy. But Janella is our project manager here at the Center of Excellence for Health. And I'm just looking at the chat, and Jennifer having problems with her camera. She's here. She's definitely in tune with what's happening. And her favorite Christmas cookie is the peanut butter balls. So thank you, Jennifer, for sharing. I think that was everybody. Did I miss anyone?
Denise, do you think it'd be valuable for us to mention the pilot schools that we're working with? Because we're not working with all high schools. We each have a set of schools. If we all maybe want to go around and just list those out, do you think that would be helpful?
That would be lovely. Sure.
Okay, so in the East, I have the Therapeutic Education Support site. So that's based out of Edith Cavell School, and students feed into that site from all of our local high schools. And it's just a therapeutic model where they can get, additional mental health supports, smaller class sizes. And then I also have Salisbury Regional High School. And then as of next Wednesday, I'll be onboarding Bernice McNaughton, which is the high school I went to. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'll put it over to Sarah.
Sure. I'm working with Woodstock High School, Carlton North High School in the Florenceville, Bristol area. If you know where McCain's is, that's where Carlton North is. And I'm also working with Nakawick High School. Miriam?
Thanks, Sarah. So I'm working with KV High, Hampton High, and Simons High School.
And I'm working with James M. Hill Memorial in Miramichi Valley.
Awesome. Thank you. And what we'll probably do is get the coaches to write that down for us at some point, and I can send that out. I'm sure you're all just writing that down very quickly. I tend to miss things when I'm engaged in a meeting, so hopefully I will get that out to you as well. So obviously we know kind of why we're here now. Everybody here that's on the call, one is affiliated with the Center of Excellence for Health or would like to maybe expand their affiliation with the Center of Excellence for Health, and also trying to make those connections in the schools where you have the ability to reach and support the teachers that are doing the career counseling and talking about the different opportunities in the province. And I'm really excited because the coaches are going to be giving you a short presentation around what it is exactly that they're doing. So their specific roles and responsibilities. And then we're going to dive into maybe some examples of what has been done in the past or what we're planning together. And then if we have time, maybe look at making those connections and saying, oh, you know what, you'd be great for this event, or this is happening, or that type of thing. And we're not going to have much time for that, but I really want you to understand, I guess, or feel comfortable knowing that you're completely allowed to reach out to these folks and ask questions and have that connection with them. And I think sometimes when we meet in person in a meeting, a virtual meeting, it really does make those connections a little bit more delicious, I'll say, and allows maybe us to expand what that looks like. So without further ado, I am going to hand it over to Sarah, who's going to lead us through their presentation.
Okay, so I have to be completely honest. I missed fully that we were doing a presentation, but I have one ready to go. And it's just not completely tailored to you guys, but we are going to make it work and it's going to be great. So I'm hoping you can see the slides.
We
Is it up
see
to-
teams
We
right
could-
now, but
We can see
Yeah.
your chat with the coaches.
We could see them before and
Oh,
then,
there
yeah,
you
there
go.
we go.
Okay, I have two screens. My camera's on one. Okay, so I won't be looking at the camera, but I am ready to present. Okay, so just give me 1 second here. Boom. So I am working with 3 schools, but as we've mentioned, we all have several schools. We work with the core leadership teams in those schools, mainly the administration. We establish goals to see what that school needs to really support their students and their educators related to career-connected learning. So this is kind of the goal statement for Hopeful Transitions. It's to ensure that each learner from grade 6 to 12 is actively engaged in planning for their post-secondary life. And again, our model will serve as a process to ensure hopeful transition. So we're really trying to support students, ensuring that they're ready for life after high school. And again, our goal is to support schools so that they have the capacity after they've worked with us for a year to do that for their students. So career connected learning is, just to kind of give you an idea of what it actually is. It's across all curricular areas. So we're not limited just to a co-op or essential skills class. We are working with math teachers, science teachers, phys ed teachers, everyone in the school, resource as well, to support their students. So again, it's to reflect like their students' preferred futures, and it incorporates social and emotional learning, labor market information, experiential learning, financial wellness, and global competencies. And just a few of the benefits, and I won't go through them all, but I mean, as you can imagine, when students feel hopeful about their futures, they have a goal, they have a destination, they usually are more engaged in school, they have better academic achievement, it helps with their mental health and well-being. It tends to usually improve behavior issues. There's more engagement. And again, just for our society, hopefully that's reducing unemployment and strengthening economic growth. So it's really, there's no downside to doing this for our students in our schools. It's very positive. So our role as transition coaches is really, as you can see, there's leader, coach, manager, coordinator, connector, but really I see us as a resource. We are that person that has more capacity than most of the educators in the schools and administration to help reach out to partners like you to find connections about bringing in guest speakers, talking about experiential learning, activities, engagement days. So if a student is like, I kind of think I want a job in healthcare, but I don't really know what that means, maybe we can make a connection and they can do some job shadowing for a day. Maybe that means bringing a guest speaker into a classroom. Maybe it means looking at labor market information and saying, like, let's make sure that the path you're picking, there's actual opportunities that exist in it. So we're really trying to be a lot of things, but really we are being a resource and support to our schools. So this slide doesn't exactly apply to you, but I think it'll give you an idea of what's happening in the schools. Is we did a benchmark assessment with all of our schools to kind of see where they're at and what their needs are. And that's how we made our goals for the school. So each school is unique. They have their own goals. For example, I'm in a very rural area. Miriam and Anna are in more cities, urban areas. So there's definitely differences between that. Leah is in the Miramichi. Again, that's a different context than what's happening in the West. So we're all just we work together, but we also know that our schools have individual needs. So we're working with usually a core leadership team, which often includes a school counselor, educators, administration, resource to support their school's needs. These are just a few of the things that are kind of research-based that are the benchmarks of what is a hopeful transition. What is it that students need to make this transition? So it's about intentional career-connected learning. So it's not like watch a video. It's like maybe we watch a video and then we have questions and a discussion about it. What does it mean to you? How did it impact your thinking? What did you learn from it? So there's a lot of reflection when it comes to experiential learning. So we really want to encourage students to think, if we bring in a guest speaker, let's have a discussion afterwards about what it meant to you. So it's not just a one and done. There's a lot of follow-up that happens. So we talk about career connected learning best practices. Of course, there's policies, programs, and resources. So we talk about inequality, trying to bring more equity to different careers, where there's underrepresented groups, whatever they may be. We're trying to, bring down some barriers so students can see that they have lots of opportunities. Again, universally designed. We want all learners. Miriam, she was so great that she was able to have a transition fair for students with exceptionalities in the St. John area to show them what is available to them after high school, whether it's post-secondary or going into the workforce or different supports. So that was really, something that we're all hoping that we can do. Students learning about potential post-secondary pathways. So again, we want to be equitable. So when some students maybe don't have the social or economic support to maybe to go into post-secondary right away, we're working to show them that, there are some government programs that are funded. If you maybe wanted to become a PSW and then you wanted to upgrade into LPN or nursing, like there's lots of pathways that there maybe aren't the traditional way, but there are supports and routes available to students. And just again, supporting like the global competencies, the skills base that students need to be successful in their life after high school. So I'm going to stop presenting and I'm going to say to my colleagues, if there's anything I missed, because I'm sorry that presentation wasn't tailored for you. We were in 2-day meetings, all-day meetings yesterday, so we're kind of just playing catch up right now. But ladies, team, if there's anything I missed, please jump in and fill the void.
Yeah, I think that was a really great overview. The benchmark assessment is really the foundation of kind of the work that we do at all of our schools. So before we do anything at all with the school, that's the first step. So they complete that assessment and then they're given a presentation on what we do. And we use that data, like Sarah mentioned, to make our benchmark action plan goals so that everyone in the school building is on the same page. They know what goals we're working towards, whether it's, we're printing those out so everyone can see it. We're all working together towards the same goals. And then at the end of the year, we'll complete another assessment, and that will show us kind of how things change. Like, did we achieve our goals? Is career connected learning more embedded within the school? Is the school staff feeling more competent in their abilities to use career connected learning? And Sarah said it perfectly. All of our schools are so different. I have some urban schools and rural schools, and it's been really fascinating to see kind of the differences of those two schools and their needs. Like Salisbury Regional is amazing at connecting their everyday curriculum with the real world. Their teachers kind of know how to connect. Okay, this is how this outcome may apply to a job, but because they're in a rural area, they may lack access to partners to do experiential learning opportunities. Whereas a school like Bernice McNaughton in an urban center has access, they're able to quickly, 5 minutes down the road, go to a nursing home and have that experience, but they're lacking in that everyday practical knowledge of connecting the curriculum to career connected learning and making sure that students are understanding the links to the real world. So we're really tailoring our supports to what the school needs. We're not just coming in and saying, okay, here's an opportunity, let's do it. It's what do you need to feel successful so that when we step away, that capacity is built within the school building. And again, it's working really closely with the school counselors because we understand, how busy they are with students' mental health, and they don't always have, the time and capacity for that career connected learning piece like they may have had in the past. So we're really there as a support for our counselors and working with the counselor leads at district to ensuring that information is getting out through them as well. So yeah, it's very tailored supports, but it's supporting the educators as best we can so that they feel confident and competent and actively engaging their learners in career connected learning, and that every learner hopefully feels that they have a clear pathway for their future.
Awesome. Thank you. That was lovely and exactly what I had hoped for that information. So thank you so much. I always have questions because I've heard the presentation a few times, but one of my questions is, you talked about the data and the survey that you do at the beginning, and unless I missed it, you do that at the beginning and at the end. Do you do that on second semester or at the midway point? Is there any check-in with how the school's feeling with their confidence and their competencies?
Yeah, so we've actually just developed a progress report that we'll be doing monthly with the principal to ensure that we're keeping on track. So we kind of have like it's almost like a stoplight kind of measurement. So green means we're on track, we're doing it well. Yellow means, okay, maybe we need to revisit our goal, we might need some support. And the red is, okay, we need the principal to really hone in on supporting us, or maybe we need to revisit the goal. So we will be doing that monthly with the principal. We'll do a sit-down meeting with them and check on our progress. But the full benchmark assessment is only done twice in a year. So once at the beginning and once at the end. And the other 3 transition coaches were able to do all of that at the very beginning because they started with all of their 3 schools or 2 schools at the same time. Whereas the East has handled it a little bit differently, and we've been having kind of a slower model. So I started with Tess. I onboarded Salisbury in November, and now I'm onboarding McNaughton. But the way that it's supposed to be laid out is you do your first assessment in September and your last assessment at the end of the school year, and you have that whole school year to kind of compare data, and then those progress reports monthly, if that answers your question.
Yeah, and I love the colors, and my partners know that I love green because in our action plans, that means we're at 100%. So colors mean a lot, especially with busy administrators. So I appreciate that. That's awesome. I'll hand it over to Kasim for a question.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah, for the presentation. I just have a quick question around the survey. Is it done by the teachers? Do you involve the student at some point or not? Just to understand.
Yeah, so at this point, all of the teachers at the school did it at the beginning of the year because, again, we're mostly supporting them and then in their practice. So for them, do they know a lot about career connected learning? Are they engaged in it? So it's really just to kind of take a pulse to see what they feel like they're already doing. And from that, we could determine where they're missing support. So for a lot of our schools, we're really doing more experiential things. So we all have different activities going on, but a lot to do with bringing in guest speakers, bringing in hands-on activities so students can make those connections to see what they're learning in school is connected to their future. So the survey was school-based with the educators, and then that's where we've kind of we needed a baseline to see like what is it that you need to make these things happen. So just for an example, one of my schools, they didn't feel like they had a lot of experiential hands-on learning. So we're actually doing in January, we're doing a math career connected morning with the entire grade 9 group. And we're bringing in, Deneen and I are working together, and I'm working with all the CEOs. We're bringing in partners, and we're doing hands-on activities that connect the grade 9 math curriculum to careers. So in grade 9 math, students learn a lot about fractions, rational numbers, measurement. So now we're bringing in people from the forestry, healthcare, like healthcare is all math-based, forestry, tourism, parks, business. And so when you're in grade 9 math and you're like, oh, I hate fractions, but you want to work in the forestry sector and you need to know how to grade wood and what silviculture means and how to know what fraction or what amount of the trees you need to cut, you need to learn that math. So I think we're hoping that those connections will make the students feel more engaged and see the value in what they're learning. So that's just one example. And I mean, there's tons of them, but that survey was just really to get that baseline and see where the schools need to move forward.
Thanks, Sarah. And with that note, if anybody of my partners wants to be involved with October 10th, I'll put a little plug in here right now, or January 10th. Certainly feel free to reach out if that's something that sparks your interest and you have availability with you or your staff on October 10th. Oh, my soul, January 10th. I'm sorry.
I was actually going to put a plug in to teach nutrition and Parks NB. Like those would be great activities if you want to come to Carleton North and talk to the students about like cooking is all math based, right? And the same Parks NB, like I'm sure there's lots of great things. So if anyone's interested, just let me know.
Oh, we'd love to come out and do some things on carbon capturing and tree measurement that
would
way,
be amazing.
Unfortunately, January 10th are already, January is already pretty slammed. Otherwise, we'd be there in a heartbeat.
No problem. We'll keep you in mind for the future.
That's wonderful, Sarah. thanks for the shout out for Teach Nutrition. January is pretty busy for us too, but we could maybe look at what we could offer as far as digital resources and yeah.
Maybe I'll just send some emails after, and if there's resources or colleagues that might be interested, we can make a connection. Anyway, sorry not to make it all about me.
That's all right. That's what this is about. I'll hand it over to Rachel. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Rachel, Rachel, it's all
Rachel.
good.
Okay.
So my question is, and this is something that actually came up with my job, is I am in Miramichi right now. I live in Miramichi, so Horizon Health is the main RHA that we have in our area. So when you go down south, you have as you go down, you have both, and then it's mostly just Horizon, or if you go up north, it's mostly just Vitalité. So my question is, when you have we have francophone schools here in the Miramichi area, it's Baie-Saint-Anne, Niguac, Rogersville, and in Miramichi. Do those students and I've been Googling to see if there's no Centre d'Excellence in French, right? So there's no opportunity or no equal program for the French students. But I have had guidance counselors, francophone, because I used to work with the system in the past, where they've contacted me and said, we have students that want to do experiential learning. They want to go with Horizon, but we don't have a contact because we're French schools. Is there something in there? Oh, Paula, is there? Yeah, I was going to say, is there something? Do you have a connection? Do you guys, and Anna, do you guys have connections there?
Yeah, so
give me something that I can work with so I can go back to them and say, you know what, contact so-and-so, they'll help you.
This is actually perfect timing because we met yesterday with our counterparts on the Francophone side. So there is 3 transition coaches on the Francophone side doing kind of the same work that we're doing. So we will now be collaborating with them. So we can put you in contact with the transition coach. The name is a little bit different just because the translation didn't translate exactly in French. But we can put you in contact with that person in the north to support those Francophone schools.
Perfect. Oh my gosh, I'm glad I asked the question. Thank you.
I will just add to that the Francophone district is also working with select pilot schools. And so I know that in the north, oh my goodness, what did Monique say yesterday? I think it was Caraquet and somewhere in Tracadie. But there's 2 schools there that she's working with that she would be definitely in a position to provide those supports, and everything Hopeful Transitions is bilingual. Or at least there is a French version of everything. So,
okay.
Rachel, I'm not familiar with the transition coordinators moving into the Francophone school district. However, I am aware of the positions that have been in place for at least a couple of years, if not more. Vie collaboratrice, something, I forget what it is. And if they want something from Horizon, I am the person.
We love Paula.
I do I do everything for the Francophone school district and the Anglophone school district, private schools. Who else we got? Private schools. Anyways, if they want access to Horizon, it's through me. However, it's hopefully through these transition coordinators that we can develop process that is efficient and seamless. Because right now, we have students going through our job shadowing site, which they should not be in there whatsoever. They should be coming through their institution representatives. And so just undoing what they've started means we're working hard behind the scenes and not getting anywhere, where the process is this, but nobody knows about it. They're going over here through here, and I have to get them out of there.
Yeah. So that's good to know.
Can I make a suggestion, Paula? Because I know we've talked about this a few times. It would be lovely for you maybe to have a meeting with the transition coaches that we're talking to right now, but also maybe get the French coaches involved. And if the Department of Health wanted to be at that meeting, this is that opportunity to make those connections and say, okay, and you certainly don't need me to push it or be there or that type of thing. But I feel like there's so much synergy and so much beautiful I guess, future with trying to clean up that process. And Paula and I have been talking about how do we get the right people in the right spots at the right time to help these students. And I think we found it. We just need to utilize it. And unfortunately, it's only for some pilot schools, but really trying to I guess, clean up that process. And I'll give you an example. Emma, if you're still here, Emma works at the New Brunswick Association for Nursing Home. And part of our process for getting the students into the long-term care homes, it was becoming very messy as well. And there was students going in that we didn't know about. And there's still that happening because we're trying to undo some of that process. But now the process is if a teacher wants to go to a home to connect with an intergenerational opportunity, they reach out to the experiential learning coordinator. The experiential learning coordinator reaches out to myself and Emma, and we set that up so that data is tracked and it's with one person. Sometimes they come to me, sometimes they go directly to Emma. We're trying to figure that out. But it's the communication piece of what is the process that we need to follow. So absolutely, I think this is a start. Go ahead, Anna.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that. One of the Francophone transition coaches yesterday had mentioned one of her goals was to develop kind of a framework for employers to engage in this kind of work because they recognized that that was something they were lacking on. And having been in the experiential learning coordinator role and knowing of those communication channels that have been developed and things like engagement day frameworks, micro internship frameworks, her and I are going to sit down and I'll share those resources with her so that we can support on the Francophone side them developing those resources as well. So I think that again, like this is all great collaboration and it's just ensuring that like we have that consistency across the board. So yeah, know that those things are definitely coming and she'll share that with the other Francophone transition coaches as well. So we're working on it. It's again, it's a pilot. We're learning as we go, but it's all going in a great direction, I think.
That's really great to know. Thank you guys for answering all those questions because that really opens up a lot more for me and the connections that I have on the Francophone side. So I can now put faces and names to to the connections. Thank you.
Awesome. Any more questions around the table? Okay. We have 5 minutes left, and I feel like trying to have one-on-one conversations right now. I feel like they're brewing. Oh, Sarah. Oh, you're on mute.
Just going to say, Anna did put our website in the chat. So if you want to learn more about Hopeful Transitions, it is there. And we will definitely, we're just putting together a one-pager with kind of our contact information, and we'll put our schools and areas so that we can share that to the whole group. But hopefully, I think from our side, what we're often looking for is like when a school comes to us and said, like, this student really wants to be a doctor or they're interested in healthcare or whatever that may be, or parks, nutrition. There's so, this wellness sector. Is it okay for us to reach out to you? Or maybe if you could let us know who would be the contact within your department that we could connect with for those next steps. I think that's really kind of, we want to kind of react quickly when we get those requests from students so that they can see that there's, and teachers so that they can see there's something happening. So I think for us, that would be a next step is just that contact information of who is the best person to go to, whether it's you or someone in your organization for those next steps.
Is there anyone on this call that it would not be them? It might be somebody different. Because we have the list of the invites that went out. Am I fair to say that invitation is there with the partners if they get a request that the coaches are allowed to reach out to the partners? And if it's somebody awesome. If there's somebody that knows that this is going to go to somebody else, you can certainly, when somebody requests something, say, I'm copying in whomever, please feel free to continue the conversation. But I would love to continue this conversation. I'm not somebody that likes to do one-offs. And I think sometimes when we have a meeting like this, we get so excited, especially on a Friday, and we're like, oh, we can do this and we can do that. And then Monday comes and reality hits and we have 1 million things to do. And sometimes we don't revisit what our thoughts were. So what I would like to suggest as an action for myself I would like to set up a meeting with you folks and with the coaches every 6 to 8 weeks. Clearly, not everybody can make it all the time, but we can record it. And then it just really gives you a touch base with everybody. And then we can also share successes, because that's what sometimes when you think about, and I think Kasim, when you were at the activity for the K-2, he came to the K-2 event for the Allied Health and had the opportunity to sit in, and so did Paula. And when I first tell my partners we're going to do this activity, Allied Health for K-2, they're like, what are you talking about? Like, how are you going to do this? And so when I invite my partners to come, they're like, oh my soul, of course we can engage these students at that age, but you've made it like clear how we can do it. And just not me, it's my team, let's be clear. But I think really sharing those successes and saying, you know, this is what we're doing, this is what's possible, but like, this is what we did, like, so neat just to come around the table and celebrate what's happening and knowing that we're all working in the same direction. And that's really what I get so excited about is, you know, when I first got this job, I said, oh my soul, wouldn't it be great to have all the partners in health to be like in one room? And I know we're not in one room, we're in a virtual room. But when I get all of the partners together, we all want the same thing. We want to give students the experience to really spark that interest in whatever it is that they're interested in and celebrate it and say, you know what? You are able to do this right here in our province, and here's how you do it. And maybe they leave the province, whatever, but at least giving them that first experience here in our province. So it's 10:44. I see one hand up. Kasim, go ahead. Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry. So just two questions. What's happening on January 10? And if with thing that one partner is missing, can we send the email to you to connect with a partner? Because I think I have a partner that will be really good for the Center of Excellence and also the transition learner as well.
Oh, that's great. You know what, Kasim, I'll send an email and copy you and Deneen in just to kind of give you an idea. And I didn't mean to like take all the airtime from my other colleagues about my event, but I'll share about that. And we can definitely, now that we know you guys are open, there will probably be lots of interactions that can happen across the province for different things that we have going on. It's great. There's actually some personal wellness and healthcare, and there's lots of science connections and math connections. So we will definitely be knocking on your doors for those interactions for our students, and also to support our educators, because the thing is, when you become a teacher, you kind of have most of them have one path. And so this helps them see all the other opportunities that exist too. So it's really, really great that you guys are open to this, and we will definitely be making connections.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm somebody that starts on time and ends on time, so I'm sure there's lots of other questions. Please feel free to reach out to these folks and ask your questions. Get excited. I'm very excited about the pilot. I know our team is, and we really just want to celebrate the fact that, you know, we're all moving in that same direction, and we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We just need to support each other with what we're doing. So thank you so much. Brendan, I see your comment in the chat about Crystal, and you're going to find someone for January 10th. Wow, Sarah, we are going to rock it. And everyone have a beautiful day. And because we've been talking about cookies, I am sending virtual cookies to everyone with a bow from Deneen. And please take a minute just to maybe have a cookie today. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording. I'll stay on for a few minutes, and have a beautiful day.
Thank you, everyone.
I don't
Thank
know.
you.
If
Happy
there's
holidays.
Thank you.
Thanks.